Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Solomon Owusu, a former member of the NPP, has also joined the masses to rubbish Mike Ocquaye's report and also give reasons why they lose and they will continue to lose. He also charges the NDC party to deal with the former corrupt NPP members or the former appointees. This and many more, he said, which I want you to join me listening to what he said into detail. This station still remains PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like and also share to other members to watch as well. Can you equally leave a comment at the comment section after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277-128-777. Thank you for being part of us, and thank you for joining the channel as a new member, and don't forget to subscribe before moving out. You can reach us as well on our WhatsApp number, as earlier said, which is 0277-128-777. Thank you, and God bless you for doing that.
Even indeed you saw that activity as something that was only for internal purposes. What was the need for you to invite media houses? Now people are coming out with all sort of page 3. Somebody just told me this morning that page 7 of the report says Michael Ocquaye himself, who was the chair of the committee, was the #1 problem of the NPP. His actions and inactions, according to Arr3st when he interviewed them. Now you are giving people the opportunity to speculate. But are you in doubt as to what led to the NPP losing the election of 2024? If for nothing at all, the bedrock of the new patriotic party is the Ashanti region. If you agree with me, all the elections that the NPP has won, they have won because the margins in the Ashanti region was superlative. It was overboard. Now, immediately after the elections, on the 14th of December 2024, did the NPP regional executives not set up a committee to investigate what led to or caused their defeat? Was there not a report? There was a report that was submitted. The chairman's committee that submitted a comprehensive report, which report got leaked. And who told them the report that they claim is not leaked, is not out there? Even the Japanese book that was ruling this country got leaked. Something that was in the bosom of the presidency got leaked. How much more this report? Was it not typed by somebody? Now let's excuse us. Everyone in this country knows what led to the defeat of the NPP. And it was amply captured in their Ashanti region report. They said it was in 2 parts: governance issues and internal issues. On the governance issues, you and I know how dilapidating, how the economy was in shambles. I mean, an economy that a party that took over an economy that was running an inflation at 15.4%. In 2024, your inflation rate was around 23.8%. So if you compare these two figures, and even the one that was having 15.4, we gave him 44% in 2016. What were they expecting? That there was a special breed of people who would be doing inflation at 23% and still do better than the one that was doing 15.4. And so mathematically, they were supposed to do worse than John Mahama in 2016. And that was what the Ghanaian did precisely. In an economy that in 2016, we were buying a gallon of diesel at 14 cedis. A gallon of diesel. That some of us said it was uncalled for. It was unthinkable. Based on that, we campaigned. I campaigned vigorously against John Mahama's administration in 2016. In 2024, a gallon of diesel, a liter, not a gallon. Mind you, 4.5 liters make a gallon. So a liter of diesel was more than a gallon of diesel in terms of pricing in 2016. It was going for close to 16 cedis. So what were you expecting? The cedi to the dollar, 1:4.2 in 2016. In 2024, it was hovering around 15 or 16 cedis. So So we knew this. Beyond that, the issue of Galamsey. When all of us were complaining, I mean majority, with the exception of few, who are not patriots, whose only interest in this world is money, everything is money. Yes, money is good, but it's not everything that has to be monetized. Your health is important. A healthy nation is a wealthy nation. They were told that Galamsey was a major problem. Deal with it. Their members of parliament, are you Afriye? Napo himself, they were encouraged. In fact, are you Afriye told us that they were not going to stop Galamsey today nor tomorrow, and that the NDC then was only convincing the NPP to stop the Galamseyers so that they will use it for campaigning for them to lose. That was the logic then. It took the Accra Diocese of the Catholic Church to go and demonstrate a prayer demonstration for the first time in my life that I had a prayer demonstration against a sitting government. They were praying, NPP lose, I will lose, and you say you don't understand. This thing, you need a committee to tell you. They gave you the Tumu bill. You remember the Tumu bill? It was on the table, on the desk of President Kufuor. Miraculously, we got people to go to court to stay it, file a stay of execution. The president said his hands had been tied by virtue of the fact that a stay of execution had been filed, and so he couldn't sign. Meanwhile, Levy, another person went to court. He had filed for a stay of execution. The president signed. The Ghanaian said, look, you were just joking with us. He said you wouldn't listen. Arrogance of power. You saw it everywhere. So arrogant bunch of people. The Ghanaian complained. He said you won't listen. These were the governance issues. Now you come to internal issues. A party that decided to foist a candidate, Alhaji Bawumia, on the whole system. The system was so skewed. I don't want to ask it to concentrate on what happened to Mr. Lanchemate, because definitely that will be the last straw that will bring the camel's back. Let them tickle themselves. Because if I come here to discuss it, it will be like you are reinventing the wheel. But that problem is the main problem. The way and manner they treated Mr. Lanchemate, they would never be forgiven. They treated him as a leper. They treated him as an outsider. Look, in those days, you go on campaign, you get to Ashanti region, all regional executives will call you, either my grandmother is dead, my uncle is dead, none of them, because they have been warned not to go with Mr. Lanchemate. All of them en bloc. Northern region, we were going to Northern region, Samba, along the way, Samba says, excuse me, I've gotten a program, and I can't run away. Northeast, they said, don't even come there. As for Northeast, they told us we don't have to come there. All these things are happening in NPP. People will be beating life. Go and mention the name of Mr. Lanchemate. The next day, your name is crossed out of the party. So, did you need any soothsayer to tell you that you were going to lose or perform abysmally? It is there. But then, we don't want to speak the truth. So they are trying to circumvent or go around the real causes of what led them to defeat. And that's how you see some of these things. So the NPP's report, the Ashanti region's report, is what represents why they lost, because the bedrock of the NPP is in the Ashanti region. But the only problem with that report was also to clean the flag bearer. The presidential candidate, Dr. Mamudu Bawumia. So now how can you go to war and as a commander of the battalion, you are defeated, and they come and tell you that the commander didn't have a problem, but it was rather the troops. Hey! So the commander was commanding what? You have led the troop or the battalion to such a hefty defeat. You are not a problem, but you are rather giving the command to them, the instructions to them. And you want to blame the innocent souls? It is all to pave way for Alhaji Mamudu Bawumia to contest in 2028. That is what they have been doing. So if you go back and read the Ashanti region report, they brought in Kennedy Japan as one of the reasons or factors that led to their defeat because of the way and manner he was talking loosely. Everybody knows that he has been talking loosely, but you were eulogizing him. I'm not a fan of Kennedy, because if you are talking about people who are also part of the problem in the NPP, he was part of the problem. Initially, he was supporting that nonsense that was going on in the party. He was supporting Bawumia, as you have been told by Arr3rst Martins, his bosom friend. Arr3rst told us in an interview that he and Kennedy were supporting Bawumia before all of a sudden he came to tell the world that he was going to contest as a flag bearer. So you were part of those that were strategizing to alienate Alan Temati from the system. So I don't have empathy and sympathy for him. What you saw, what you together with them did, will come back to haunt you. Now, the vehicle has been destroyed. It's spoiled. The vehicle that is spoiled, they are not thinking about maintaining it, but they are looking for a driver. And that is the topic we are discussing this morning. That who leads the NPP? The NPP is destroyed. So if you get a driver today, which vehicle is the driver going to sit in to drive? So the issue would have been to first of all tackle the sports car, maintain it for it to be fit for purpose. And there comes that question: who should be the central figure to lead in this maintenance? And that is the multi-million-dollar question confronting them, which they do not have an answer. Because ordinarily, 2 or 3 people should have done that. Either you still fall back on the venerable J. Kufuor, or you fall on the immediate past president, Nana Akufo-Addo, or if you like, any of the former national chairmen. But the former president John Ejekun Kufuor, I said it, I granted an interview in the last 3 days of the elections when he said Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia was better than everyone in this country. That is, he as a leader, you may be a member of a political party, but you must always remind yourself that you have moved beyond that to be a statesman. And that whatever statement was coming out of your mouth, people will analyze and analyze it well. When it was so obvious that at the time he was saying that Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia topped all the candidates that were contesting, that statement couldn't have been true. He made that statement, so he lost the opportunity to be the gravity. As for President Akufo-Addo, every report that I have chanced on, they blame him. So, and interestingly, they said they are building the party, and every meeting he is there. It's a person that you blame as being the cause of your woes. Every meeting cheerfully is sitting there. So what has changed? Quick format, a national chairman is available. Freddie Blay, he himself is lost in the ocean. As for Afoko, they even look at the way they handled Afoko. So that is where the problem is. That they do not have a central figure to revolve this party around. Chairman started something after the elections. I mean, he tried the granting interview, trying to be the central figure. While somebody just threw one stone and he went into hibernation. Because Seka disagreed with the report from the Ashanti region that the way he was described in the report was not truthful, and that if they allowed him, he would go bananas. He would deal with everybody. So quickly he realized that he has to run into bunkers. It is only by speaking truth, Senna. It is truth that can save them. How they allowed few people within the party to lead them to the path of no return is what beats my imagination. Parties are not built around one person. That is why every political party, serious as such, has the constitution. And that constitution, you don't just keep it yourself, you file it with the Electoral Commission. And every political party is supposed to be a public institution. That is why Article 55 of our constitution captures it vividly. And so, because there is no head or leader, that is why you have the likes of Masaudu doing whatever they are doing. Nobody is applying the laws of the party. Nobody is playing a leadership role. So it's all play all. So whoever emerges as the leader of this party will still keep this party in opposition. Take it from me. It's all rocket science. And mind you, believe you me, they are underestimating why Ghanaians kick them out, and they are underestimating the anger in the Ghanaian in getting them out. They are underestimating it. It was not a fluke. I see a number of people say that our people didn't vote. Our people didn't vote. Who in the NPP did not vote? They should tell us. The national chairman of the NDC did not vote. All the constituency executives did not vote. Who in the NPP are they saying did not vote? For which reason they got that performance? Granted, they did not vote. What was the guarantee that even if they vote, they took part in the vote, they were going to vote for the NPP? And what was the reason for them not voting? It means you are not doing anything right, something right. So, Senna, I don't envy them. In the last days to election 2024, my candidate, Mr. Alan Chamante, said something. Some of them, the babies with sharp teeth, insulted him. But we can only forgive them and pray for their souls. He said the NPP was a declining party. They didn't understand it. Because if you have been part of a system, if you have been part of the formation of an organization or institution, and you know the ideals and principles that you held, you know the ideals and principles that based on it the organization was formed, and you know where it is today, that you have deviated entirely from the ideals and principles for which you established that institution, you don't need any soothsayer, you don't need any malam or sheikh or any pastor or prophet anywhere to tell you that this was a party that was already heading into the deep seas. But watch out for our incoming new party, political party. And also I want to admonish all NPP supporters, the patriots, to ready themselves. For the only way they can be relevant in the annals of Ghana's politics is to begin to watch out and join and block the new political party that will be coming, that will be upholding the principles of free market enterprise, principles of love, principles that seeks to protect the media freedom as enshrined in our constitution, principles that allows freedom of expression and not machoism, dictatorial, and so on and so forth. And it is this party that will help them out. I wish you happy Easter.
Is it the Mokoba party?
I will mention the name. If I tell you, you will not come to our press conference. But I've told you that there's going to be a political party that will be established. That one, there's no doubt about that. You know, we came with the butterfly movement, butterfly metamorphosis. Is that not the case? We are a movement now. Alan went as an independent, and that was just a transitional period because it was a year to an election. Mind you, our movement was established on the 25th of September 2023. We had barely some 12 months into a major elections. If we had gone in as a political party, believe you me, they would have disqualified us, knowing very well that the system was against us. So you needed an independent candidate to circumvent some of the procedures so that Allah will be on the ballot. We achieved that, and we are so proud of what we did. The campaign that we prosecuted, we toured the entire country. The system is there. All the structures are there. It is about metamorphosing it into a political party where we will be having parliamentary candidates across the length and breadth of this country, where we will be having constituency executives across the length of this country, where we will be having polling station executives across the length of this party, where we know that the disgruntled members of the New Patriotic Party, the National Democratic Congress, the CPP, the PNC, all of them will see this new political party as the hope of this country and join us to liberate this country for the betterment of all.
A forest reserve, because of existing laws on environmental protection and the presence of forestry gas. There's a difference between repeal, that's abolish what was added by Akufo-Addo and led the original stay, and revoke, abolish completely the entire law, including what Akufo-Addo came to meet. NDC has insisted on its position of repealing what Akufo-Addo added. The question is, were the people mining forest reserves until Akufo-Addo brought in LI 2462? The answer is no. Mr. Wilson.
Yes, Senator, the issue of Galamsey is very simple. I don't know why people make it complicated. But let me remind the NDC that it was one of the campaign messages that got them to power. And so I will be the last person to say I am advising them to deal with the matter. Because once you fail to deal with the Galamsey, you're also on your way out. But as a good citizen of this country, it wouldn't inure to my benefit if the environment is destroyed, out of which I'm going to eat, breathe the air in it, drink the water out of it, and so on and so forth. So we all have to help them to fight it. First of all, they must not attempt to shortchange the people of this country. You promised that you repeal it. It must be repealed, not amended. This business of politicians must stop immediately. Number two, all former service heads and chiefs must be prosecuted. You know why? We are in a country where a country has been created within a country. Everyone in crime. Yomo Bega. No old lady in Accra. In a thick forest. Western region or Western North, it's Subri Forest in Western region. That region had a regional commander of police, had a regional commander of the army, had a regional minister. The district within which the forest falls had a district municipal chief executive, district police commander, and so on and so forth. Yet, a community was created within the center of the forest where Galamsey activities became so rampant. And we could not have a government of President Akufo-Addo and the New Patriotic Party deal with that matter. And such people are, some of them are still in the service. Some of them are on retirement, drawing salaries from the state. So those that are still within the service, what is the guarantee? They had allowed this despicable act, the community to be established with impunity. These West African nationals to come and mine illegally on our soil. What is your guarantee that they will help this administration to deal with the issues of Galamsey? And that is why, if this administration is serious, they must begin to prosecute people. The last time the Arr3st of Saridonko took a tour on the Ankobra River, did he not identify someone doing an illegal mining on the Ankobra? What has happened to that person? Look, for you to deal with Galamsey, you must be ready to drain the swamp. The big players, the politicians, the pastors, the imams, the businessmen, the chiefs who are behind Galamsey, you must be ready to name and shame and prosecute. Not those young people that you show them on TV. They don't know, they don't have the capacity to deal with Galamsey. When you say there's no, that the people are dangerous, let the people be stronger than the state and there will be no country called Ghana. I want someone to come and convince me what benefit Ghana has gotten from mining. Let's juxtapose the benefit that they claim we have gotten to the effect or the harmful nature of mining, and see whether or not mining will stand the test of time. If the gold is beneath the earth and we are not mining, would we fall sick? But when we mine it, we are being led into our early graves, and you tell us that there are benefits with mining in this country. Go to Obuasi. I've lived in Obuasi before. There used to be Obuasian Kawo. Did you ever hear that name before? It was the apple of the toast of many Ghanaians to eat an orange coming from Obuasi. Now go and check the acidic levels of these oranges, if there are any. You go to Obuasi, anybody that lived in Obuasi for that lengthy time, you will see some black spots on their bodies. And you are telling me there are benefits with it. And this is not to restrict it to only the small scale miners. The so-called large scale miners, your Anglo Gold, your Goldfish, your whatever, they are all involved in illegalities. Nobody checking them. But because the big players are enjoying from it, they come and give us all beautiful nonsense. Again, that state of emergency, if it really means business, must be applied, must be implemented. What is this government afraid of? But it comes back to the issue that we have been raising here always. Those that sponsor our political activities. The financiers. You dare not touch them. They are the people behind. So they finance you to win political power, and so you are afraid to go after them. And that's why we are where we are. As we speak, the NTU of our water bodies, the turbidity levels is still 14,000 NTU, which is way beyond what is acceptable before Committee of Nations. Yes, we are doing that here, and we are still dealing with the subject matter. Last year also, I went to demonstrate in the Exama area on mining issues. And what I saw regarding illegal mining, I couldn't believe it. So the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, I have said that he must not even concern himself with the rest of the country. If he is able to deal with Galamsey in his own constituency alone, I will salute him. Let him let the Ankobra River be clean. As a Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, this one falls within your purview. Beyond you being a minister, you are also the MP for that area. Now, Professor Frimpong Boateng did something good. And here, I could understand where Mr. Chumboafo is coming from. When we talk about Galamsey, NPP must not be the yardstick, because they themselves, you remember that Al Jazeera documentary where Alistair Matthias said the former president Akufo-Addo, he was doing business with him on gold sales. You remember that issue? Yeah. That every month he was shipping $40 million to $60 million worth of gold out of this country to go and sell. He was doing connection with the president. Then the president hurriedly asked his legal advisor to write some letter to Al Jazeera threatening. When Al Jazeera rebutted or responded to that letter, the president went shushu. All of a sudden, mumu. Everybody couldn't talk again in this country. So the president himself was culpable based on what Alistair Matthias said. So I don't want to reference the NPP in this subject, but indeed, it is one of the reasons why Ghanaians kicked against them, voted against them, so their matter is out. Now it is the turn of the National Democratic Congress, and nobody must make the mistake of hiding behind we are not too long in power. You can do it within 2 weeks if you want to. Where there is a will, there is a way. But once you begin to find excuses, make excuses for your inability, then it means you yourself wants to get your people. The other time, the army wanted to enter a community in the danger areas. We are told that constituency executives of the National Democratic Congress said they will not allow the army to enter there. I said, what? And you, the army too. It is becoming one too many. You are paid because you have to defend the territorial integrity of this country. You cannot be going around the world and say that when you are outside this country, you are rewarded with your professionalism, and back home, a matter of Galamsey, you cannot deal with it. Especially when some of your members also have been cited as being part of the Galamseyers. So now we have to crack the whip. And to link this Galamsey matter to the Chief Justice is very important. Because when people are arrested, where are they taken to? Is it a court? So you need a judiciary that is also ready to do the do. The last time excavators were confiscated by the Forestry Commission together with the police, and the matter was sent to a court in NJ. You remember this matter? The judge miraculously initially said that excavator must be released to those Galamseyers, and not just released, the police were to provide a safe and protection to the excavators to be sent to a place that cannot be destroyed. When the Ghanaian spoke the next day, the judge came to tell us that he erred. Can you imagine? Less than 24 hours, the judge, and when you have such judges within the judiciary, why wouldn't you go into the judiciary and clean it massively? So you would need a judiciary that is headed by a competent Chief Justice. But today, this is not your subject matter. And so, as for the National Democratic Congress, I remember vividly whatever their members came here, particularly to say, and the promise they gave to the people of this country. I expect them to act.
Okay.
I expect them to act.
Thank you.
Thank you for being part of us, and thank you for doing the wonderful thing and making time with us once again for what we have for you and the country as large in the political arena. God bless you for being part. And to all our cherished viewers, we urge you to share this and also subscribe for more videos. Stay glued to the channel by turning the notification bell on. Thank you. God bless us all. Stay tuned for more.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.